Dustin.
Hey, Tasha. Real quick, before we get into how your week was, I want to ask you a question.
Yep.
So, as an English teacher, do you ever use the phrase, the exception that proves the rule?
No.
I think that's such a dumb fucking statement.
Yeah, it's like backwards.
Yeah. Like, why would an exception... Like, I get it, like, maybe you're saying, like, every rule has an exception, so this is the exception that proves that it's a rule. But fuck off. Like...
Yeah, that just sounds like a very pretentious way to point out an exception.
All these damn pretentious people.
Pretentious.
Alright, well, how was your week?
It was pretty good. It was not that long, actually. It was another one of my 4-day work weeks.
Oh.
At least with kids.
Oh, okay, so you had a work day?
Yes. Well, actually, I guess it was like a 6-day work week for me, because I also worked this morning. So, but that was fun. I actually had a lot of fun because I got to co-teach with Jeannie.
Oh.
Shout out to our previous guests on the show.
And she'll be a recurring guest at some point.
Yes, she will.
We need to do that. We keep saying we need to do that, and then we never do.
It's going to happen.
You know what? I'm just gonna call someone tomorrow and be like, "Hey, be on the podcast this week."
Wait, like someone you know, or like a random number?
No, just a random.
I think we talked about this before, where we thought about calling random numbers and surprising them with a podcast.
I don't think we have.
Surprise! Yeah. You are now on our podcast show. What M Dreams? What have you been dreaming about recently? What the fuck?
We'll get some really weird responses. Well, I'm sure a lot of what we'll get is leave me the fuck alone and then hang up.
Yeah.
Call them back every time. Oh man. So that was your week though?
Yeah, that was my week. It was a long, short, long week.
Long, short, long.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's like a Morse code for something. Long, short, long. But I don't know what it is.
What's SOS?
It's long, 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 short, 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 long, long, long.
Oh, okay.
I think. I could be wrong. I don't think I am.
Wrong.
Yeah. Well, my week was fairly uneventful.
Mm-hmm.
I worked a lot this week because I worked during the day and at night, pulling double duty. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it was raining the whole time, which was worse.
So much.
Oh my God, that reminds me. There was so much flooding in the road so I went to go pick up somebody the other night, and I was on 35 and Cockrell Hill.
Okay.
I think. Anyway, right there, just a massive amount of water in the road.
Turn around, don't drown.
Oh, it wasn't that bad. Like, I mean, I could definitely tell. And besides, somebody else just drove through it.
Oh, okay.
Plus, my vehicle sits up high now anyway, too. So.
I'm side-eyeing him, audience. You can't tell for sure when you're in the driver's seat unless somebody else is going before you, and that's an easy way.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I don't see any canoes, I'm okay.
But yeah, it was getting crazy. We were out in Cedar Hill on Friday night when the rain started hitting hard. We were in the truck with me, Nesta, the kids, and Alice's friend. So we had a full truck, and it started raining, and I was low-key panicking. And the only thing that Ernesto wants to play ever is rock music or rap music, like Gucci Mane. But this time it was rock music, and it was putting me on edge. Like, it was like, I want to say it was like Korn songs.
Oh, okay.
And the whole time I was like, this is like driving to your death music.
Feeling like a freak on leave.
Yeah. Like, just wanted something calming, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. There are certain songs I can't listen to when I'm driving, or else I'll just put my foot down, like, all the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a song called 100 Reasons. No. Is that the name of the song? Or is that the name of the band? Anyway, something about 100 Reasons. This song, every time I hear it, I just foot to the floor.
Is it an upbeat song?
Yes, very much so.
What genre is it?
It's rock. So there's two songs specifically that they both came from the video game Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition.
Okay.
And one of them is called Stories with Unhappy Endings. Okay. I love that one. And then I forgot what the other one is called.
I'm now curious about what the song sounds like.
Actually, hang on. I'm not going to play it because obviously copyright, but I do have it on my phone. Stories with Unhappy Endings is by 100 Reasons, and then the other one is by a band called Idlewild.
Sounds familiar.
And A Modern Way of Letting Go. That's the song that always gets me for sure. Like, I will instantly put my foot down.
Okay. Idlewild and 100 Reasons.
So anyway, yeah, that song immediately gives me a lead foot, as they would call it.
Yeah, I guess I can picture it now that I heard a bit.
Yeah. And part of it I know is because I played Midnight Club so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that song would come on. And, like, there's also a song called Drive It Like I Stole It that was on that game. Love that one, too.
Yeah, I can't say there are any songs that make me want to speed. But there might be songs that make me want to, like I have to sing them out loud.
Oh, that's every song for me.
No, it's not every song for me. Sometimes I'm, like, literally vegging out. Like, if I was in front of a TV. And you know how sometimes you drive and you know you're going somewhere.
But then you don't remember
getting there.
Yeah.
Like how you got there.
Yeah.
That happens so much.
Yeah. There have been many a time that I get to where I'm going and then I'm like, I don't remember a fucking thing about the drive. Like, I'm pretty sure I wasn't paying any attention the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, you were. You didn't crash or anything.
Right.
So, I mean, some part of your brain was just, like, active.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of you was just like, I'm zoned out.
Yep. And that happens a lot to me.
Well, I don't have anything else to talk about. You ready to get into it?
I'm ready.
All right. Hit him with the intro, Tasha.
Welcome to What M Dreams. I'm one of your hosts, Tasha, and I'm here with...
Dustin.
And we're here to talk to you about dreams. Dreams. That felt better. Yeah. I've been feeling off-key lately.
Yeah, that was good. It was good.
Thanks.
We need to go back to doing karaoke so that we can...
I cannot tell you how much I've been missing karaoke.
Yeah.
Like, literally, the past several weeks, I've been thinking to myself, driving home. Or driving to work. God, I need to go karaoke. I think I'm going to die if I don't go karaoke soon. I need to go, like, right now. Like, I need to stop right here at this bar right here. Because I know they have karaoke on Thursdays because there's a sign up. There's a little bar and grill that has spots in the back roads on the way to my high school.
Because there's one close to there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been a long time since I went karaokeing. It was since before COVID.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, we need to do that. Anyway,
Alice has been karaokeing.
How dare her not invite her parents and her parents' friends?
No, actually, you should have seen her because it was so awkward for her. Whenever it was at the Parks Mall in Arlington. That you know how you can rent out karaoke rooms in there.
Yeah.
And I took her and her little friend to the Parks Mall, and they wanted to stop by, whatever it's called, with all the arcade and the karaoke
Round
rooms. Round one. And we went in there, and we want to do a karaoke room, is what she said. And I said, okay. And then they started talking about it amongst themselves, like how long they wanted it for or whatnot. And I said, do you have enough money for it? And she's like, yes. And then they started talking to themselves again, and then she got like a little awkward grin and smirk, and then she walked up to me and she was like, you want to go with this? I couldn't. I mean, I could probably guess what she hoped my answer would be, but I am not entirely 100% sure she'd feel more or less awkward without me, because we sing a lot in the truck together.
Yeah.
To and from school. So, anyways, I said no. Y'all have fun, and she's like, okay. The little awkward grin.
See, you should have put it back on her and said, do you want me to go with you?
That would have been so awkward for her, I feel like. She'd have been like, I don't know.
Well, if she says, I don't know, then you say no.
No, I took the initiative and fixed the awkward for her.
How dare her not invite everybody?
I told her she should have went with more little friends. She ended up telling one of her other little friends about it, and I was like, and I heard her say, "You should go with us next time."
Anyway,
yeah.
We did get sidetracked after we started the intro, and we didn't go straight into dreams like we had expected to.
This is our forte.
So, do you want to start this week?
No.
No? All right.
I think I might have less dreams this week than you might have.
There's one dream that I've actually been telling quite a few people about. So the beginning of this dream, it was weird because I was texting a friend of mine at the beginning of the dream, and we were texting about going to see the movie, which I told you about the movie that I went to go watch that I didn't see.
Right.
So this dream happened before that because I had already asked her to go see it, and apparently in the dream was texting her about whether or not we were still going to go see it. And in the dream, I could feel like I was falling back into the trap that I had been in forever ago with her. So the next part of the dream, like it changed right after that, right after the text messages.
Mm-hmm.
She was no longer a part of the dream. She had nothing to do with it, except like what I talk about in the next part. So I was invited to a wedding. I don't know whose wedding it was.
No, a wedding dream, eh?
Yeah, I was invited to a wedding. I was like a groomsman, and it was a destination wedding. It was one of those weddings that was going to be like all weekend, and it was like some resort, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the couple had hired a therapist, like, you know, someone to just give therapy sessions, like mental therapy, not physical therapy or anything like that.
Was it you?
No,
okay.
No. But she was there just in case anyone needed to talk for like an hour or whatever. She would do free therapy sessions for everybody, you know, whenever they needed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd gotten to talking to her, and we were just like friendly chit-chatting. It was not therapy. And she was like, "Do you want to do a therapy session?" And I was like, no, I don't need any of that. Like, I probably should, but I'm not going to, you know. And then she starts asking me questions, and she tricks me into...
She starts the session.
Yeah, she tricks me into opening up. Mm-hmm. And, like, I start opening up about, like, people that I've been in love with and stuff like that, you know.
Are these real people that you...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, like, it was weird because in the dream, I felt myself start to get emotional. Mm-hmm. And, like, I could almost start crying. And then somebody knocked on the door, and I told them, you know, go away. I'm you know, doing a thing. I'll be out in just a few minutes, you know. Mm-hmm. And the therapist, like, we start getting back into it. And I'm just having this full-on therapy session now, you know, and I'm, like, crying and, like, getting really emotional and opening up and everything, being vulnerable. And the other weird thing about her office, though, was that there was, like, a big, like, cypress tree or, like, a cedar tree in her office, mm-hmm. like, giant. And, like, it was, like, the couch was underneath it, and I was on the couch. But I wasn't laying on the couch. I wasn't even sitting, like, on the whole couch. I was just sitting on the arm of the couch. And then I woke up.
It sounds so calming though. Almost
It
like
was.
cathartic.
It was really bizarre because it felt like I was really having a therapy session.
Mm-hmm.
And then I woke up and I was like, I probably should book a therapy session. But that was it. Like, you know, I even told my friend about it. I told her, what was going on in it. She's like, that's weird. Because I was like, the first thing I said was, I had a dream you were in, but only slightly because I was texting you at the beginning of.
So it's interesting that you mentioned it was a cypress tree specifically. Like, I wonder what the significance of a cypress tree is.
Well, I say cypress, but I also said it could have been a cedar tree.
Oh.
So it was definitely an evergreen like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With like more needle-like than leaves.
Okay.
But yeah, it was an interesting dream.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird that you're sitting on just the edge of the couch and the couch is under a tree, and that reminded me of like a scene in the Marvel movie. I think it was Black Panther probably, where he was dead.
Oh yeah.
Brought to a tree. Yeah.
Where the past king showed up. Yeah. I also thought it was interesting that I was like at some destination wedding.
Yeah.
Right.
What's that all about?
And like, I knew it was a wedding because of the therapist and everything like that.
I've never heard of no weddings with therapists.
Well, I mean, like, that's the reason the therapist was there, because she was there for the wedding, that like they were doing a free therapy session thing, that like whatever, couples retreat.
That makes sense, I guess.
But the fact that I knew I was also a groomsman, like I was actually going to be in the wedding party, but I don't know who the wedding, was, like who it was that was getting married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the dream that I talked about. It might have been last week, where I was at somebody's wedding. I don't know whose it was, but their mom definitely did not like me.
Right.
The groom's mom. So that's all you remember of that dream, huh?
Yeah. I still have a couple more dreams to talk about today, but that's the first one out of the way.
I had another dream about driving in the rain.
There's been a lot of that.
That's all I remember of it.
Oh.
Just driving in the rain.
Just driving in the rain.
It was short.
It's not as good as singing in the rain.
No. Which reminds me, I watched a movie today that featured that song.
Oh, really?
A couple of times. It might be my recommendation today.
The movie that you watched?
Mm-hmm.
Or the actual movie Singing in the Rain?
No.
Oh, okay.
Movie I watched.
I remember watching the actual Singing in the Rain movie when I was a kid and thinking, oh my God, I want to do that. I want to do that for a living. Like, there was a time I wanted to be a tap dancer.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you meant like a singer or a movie star.
Like, yeah. Tap dancing, singing.
Tap dancing specifically, though? Star.
Well, I watched some like Gregory Hines stuff when I was younger, and yeah, I was super into it.
Huh.
I was like, I could do that.
I don't know who Gregory Hines is, but I assume he's a tap dancer.
He's very good tap dancer. Anyway, my parents were super annoyed by it, and they were like, no, you're not. You're not going to do that. You're making too much noise. Knock it off.
Quit tapping all over the place. Tippy toes.
I mean, to be fair, I was the youngest of 5 kids living in the house, so yeah.
It's a lot of children.
Yeah, they were annoyed. Living in a small apartment.
Mm-hmm.
A 3-bedroom apartment that was probably about the size of your living room and this kitchen combined. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a government apartment. We were poor.
Yeah, you have told me this.
So, I'll talk about my next dream, I guess, in a minute. Also about dreams. In that apartment, my sister had fallen asleep with her legs under her bed. So I guess like she was using her bed as kind of like a table, so she could like draw or whatever. and she had fallen asleep with her legs under the bed, and they fell asleep while she was asleep. So in her dream, she started thinking that the devil was pulling her under the bed.
Oh, shit.
And she woke up screaming.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
because she was numb.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. That would have been terrifying.
Yeah. So funny. It's funny to think about now, like, obviously.
Yeah. Sure was pretty scary. I remember being woken up by a dream, but being super scared. Nothing like that happened, though.
Yeah.
Like where I was numb and dreamt about it. I dreamt of the floor being lava.
Oh, okay.
And me and my parents walking through it. I was really young when I dreamt this. And I was afraid my parents weren't going to make it through the lava. And I woke up really sad. I think that's when my mom got me a fish.
She's like, here, you're sad. Have a fish.
Yeah, I think they got me a beta fish soon after those kinds of dreams. I named him Sarah. I didn't know he was a guy. Yeah, I was too young to know that all beta fish were men. Like, you know, the pretty ones with the long tails?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are males. I guess they're kind of like birds. The men are prettier.
Yeah. To attract a mate.
Mm-hmm.
All that plumage.
Plumage.
That's such a good word.
Plumage.
So, this is not about a dream. I was actually thinking about the podcast the other day, and I was thinking about stopping the podcast at some point and being like, and thank you to sponsor for sponsoring our sponsored segment of the sponsor. And I was like, and I kept saying sponsor over and over in my head like that, and I was just like, now I don't think that word means anything. Anyway, so this was one of the other dreams that I had. This is one of the short ones that I wrote down.
Okay.
So I dreamt I was in like an anime club at like school, right?
Have
like,
you ever been in an anime club?
No.
Any clubs at school?
They weren't really a thing when I was going to school. Like anime clubs.
Okay.
You know, I went to a small town, so we didn't really have... The only clubs they had were photo club and stuff like that. So they didn't really have anime club.
Mm-hmm.
But I've since seen it on other things now, you know, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, anime club. Anyway, so I was in an anime club at some school, and I remember we were all sitting around watching some dude play this new JRPG, right, that had just come out. One guy started telling me about some new anime that was coming out that was kind of like Dead Man Wonderland and One Piece mixed together.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that sounds badass, man. I really want to see that. If you haven't seen Dead Man Wonderland, it's a really fucked up anime about this kid who's accused of killing his entire class.
Oh,
he wakes up and it's all like everybody's all dead. And then so he gets accused of it, and then he gets taken to this prison island that is rich people can bet on who's going to survive like these games.
Is it a short series?
Yeah, it was like one season. It was supposed to originally be more than that, but something happened, and I think the original director got arrested. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. And then One Piece, if you haven't seen it, it's a lot of episodes, and there's a lot of it. So
there is a lot of it.
Anyway, so
yep, it's raining.
Damn.
It's singing in the rain.
I don't want to go outside. Anyway, so while he was talking about it, some girl came over to me and started telling me about some food she's going to be making. It was some kind of fusion between like Japanese, American, and Mexican.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be like some kind of taco that had like maybe orange chicken in it or something like that. Or I don't know what all... Orange chicken might be Chinese. Anyway, like it had some kind of chicken in it, you know, and then like something else. That's all I remember. She was talking about, like, she kept like leaning on me, and I was just like, you're too young for me. Get away from me.
She's too young for you, bro.
Well, because I'm in an anime club in a high school, I'm 40. But obviously, in my dream, I'm not 40.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
say.
But like in my head, I'm still thinking,
Yeah.
I'm my age. So, yeah. but I did want the taco thing.
Mhm.
Like, I was like, oh, that sounds really good.
Yeah, and I thought you were gonna be able to eat it in this dream.
No, I
No
saw
such-
it, but I didn't get a chance to eat it.
You know what I've noticed, and it's kind of nasty, is that if I don't brush my teeth, sometimes I do dream about eating food.
You're like, oh yeah, I do taste that.
And then when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, well, yeah, I probably should have brushed my teeth. But then I wouldn't have gotten such a yummy dream. So.
Right. So, but I'm disappointed that the dream ended there. But
Me too. You need to be able to eat in your dream, man.
yeah, I don't know how people do it.
Just do it.
But the JRPG looked really cool that the guy was playing.
Right?
It had something to do with dragons. Yeah, it was kind of like Blue Dragon or whatever,
I don't know that.
It was a 360 game. You were only like 7 when that came out. I'm just kidding. Anyway, and then the other anime also sounded really cool.
Yeah, I do want to watch. What's it called?
Dead Man Wonderland?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's on my list, actually.
It's got a really cool theme song, but the theme song is American. Very American.
Well.
Almost sounds like Papa Roach.
Strange.
Yeah. Anyway, you have any other dreams?
Let me try and pull up a recording.
All right.
An older one.
It's a little past 3:30 in the morning, and I woke up because of a nightmare. It was bad. It started out not bad, though. It started out with me going to an interactive haunted house of sorts.
I thought all haunted houses were interactive.
It was with me and other teachers and students.
Why? Why is it always other teachers?
I don't know. I'm always dreaming about field trips.
I went there the first time with no issues. There were several levels and challenges I could have done, and I chose one because that's the standard, and I got through it fine. When I came out, I noticed that Emily, one of my colleagues and friends who plays D&D,
I was going to ask if it was that Emily.
Past guest in our podcast. Oh, by the way, it's April 13th, a little past the witching hour.
You said that already.
I noticed that Emily didn't make it to the haunted house, and I was like, oh crap, where is she? I was worried about her. I was like, maybe she got taken away. So I was thinking that the robots who ran the haunted house had locked her up or something.
I love how
I gotta go save her.
Pause.
And
I love how that's a detail that you didn't mention until this point.
Yeah, they came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting the robots.
Oh man, I've been going through this interactive haunted house. And the robots that ran it. What?
Oh man, one of my coworkers just told me that way to what was it? It's an expression that I don't hear often.
You buried the lead?
Yes.
Yeah.
I buried the lead.
Yeah.
I forget what I said though. Some dumb shit. I said, by the way, my dog had puppies.
Yeah, that should be the leading story, and then
yeah,
you put it on page 6.
And Emily was like, "What? So since when? I didn't even know you had a dog that was pregnant." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to mention it." Yeah, she hasn't been here for a while. Anyways, So yeah, here robots in a haunted house. I do remember a dream from this week, but I'll tell it later.
I convinced another coworker of mine to try and help me find Emily, because I know him and Emily were close. So he was like, yeah, let's go do it, man. And I was like, I've been taken away before by these robots and locked up, but I escaped successfully. So apparently that had happened in the past. And he was like, okay, we can rescue her. And I said, okay, we got a plan. We're going to try each level. Like, we're going to do each level to try and find her. We couldn't communicate directly. We had to communicate, like, through signals and signs while we were in the haunted house because we split up. I did one level and he did others. So, like, we had to communicate through writing, which was so weird. So, like, on my end, I could see his mirrored writing while I was in the haunted house. And on his end, he could see my mirrored writing. So, I don't know how that made sense. But anyways, that happened. And,
Cool.
I tried I remember which levels I tried. Level 4 and 5. And she wasn't in there. He tried level 1 and 3. And then I went back and did level 2. I don't remember what exactly were in the levels, except for like a vague memory of a boss. I had to defeat like the boss in some sort of airship. But yeah, I remember getting through all the levels
This is wild.
after we finished and met back up. I was like, yeah, we never found Emily. But we ended up all the teachers and the students and I guess our spouses who were also there ended up going to a dinner. And afterwards,
Fuck it.
and
Couldn't
Emily
find
was
her.
there. I was like,
Let's go.
great. Good. So she did make it out. Yay. I didn't have to worry about her. She was with some guy who is now her boyfriend. So she had met in the haunted house. That was interesting.
Was it one of the robots, maybe?
And then,
Yes.
what else? Oh, the nightmarish part.
I was gonna say, I don't know what about this is scary.
There was, during the dinner, we were all in like a house / gaming store eating the dinner. I don't know why we were in there, but one of my past students apparently owned this gaming or owned a spot in this gaming store, and he was just now launching a business with him and his partner. And like he was launching a product business where he sold like gaming items, so that was cool. But during the dinner when we were all eating, freaking Ernesto started choking.
Oh my god.
And I said, oh my god. I was running because apparently I knew there were EMTs outside.
This part of the dream I think you talked about.
But dream, so
Yeah.
I was like, I have to get outside. So
yeah, all the rest of that I've told on the podcast. I guess I
just
didn't.
The beginning part you didn't.
I never mentioned the robot. I didn't remember it.
The robot haunted house.
Yeah.
That Emily met her boyfriend in.
With different specific levels. That is so weird.
Yeah.
What a weird dream.
I mean, the weirdest part about it is that like you went, looked for her, and you're like, you know what? Couldn't find her. Let's go. And so everyone went to go eat dinner. And then she just showed up. You know, it's like, oh, okay.
She did make it out. Yay.
Yeah. I also love didn't bother telling everybody that it started with robots. No.
Yeah.
I've been taken by these robots before, man. I know exactly how to handle it.
Yeah, that was a wild one.
Yeah.
Got another one?
Yeah, I got one more. Seems like it's kind of a long one.
Okay.
Oh, I do remember this. So, I was living with my ex-girlfriend. And even though in the dream she was still my ex, we acted like we were still together. Like the things that we would do and say and the way that we would talk to each other still felt like we were together. So I called her at one point when I was leaving from work or something like that. And I asked her to make something for dinner. When I got home, she asked me if we were going to this party. And I was kind of an asshole. I called the people throwing the party and told them that I wasn't coming because I didn't want to. And I just hung up on them.
I will not be showing up. I don't want to. Click.
And then she was like, what about me? And I was like, I don't know, but I made it clear I wasn't going. So, it was just like Who gives a fuck about you?
Jeez.
Yeah. Then I guess it was the next day, and I was leaving from work again, and I was coming home, and I called her again to tell her to make something for dinner, and I had said I wanted you to cook some fried chicken. I want you to cook some fried chicken, and then I told her exactly how to make it. Like I spent the time on the phone telling her exactly what seasonings to use in the dredge, and then instead of using the wet like egg, to use water for the dredge, because apparently that's what KFC does. Now that's a real thing. That's not like just dream me.
That was my next question.
That wasn't just dream me. That was a thing that I found out that KFC actually does. After they flour it, they put it in water, and then flour it again, put it back in the deep fryer.
That don't even sound right.
Apparently, it's like supposed to make it more like crispy or something.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's the way they do their extra crispy. Anyway, apparently that's the way KFC does it. So after telling her that, like, we both did this thing where like I did 2 quick kisses into the phone, like that, and then she did the same thing back, which is the part where I was like, I know that we're not together, but in the dream, apparently we were just like, but it's cool for us to pretend like we are, I guess. Anyway, so I got home, and I also asked her to cook a pizza after that.
But you're done with the homemade fried chicken.
Yeah.
Go ahead and jump on the pizza.
And then she started telling me about some stuff she did while I was at work, and then I woke up. that was the whole dream.
Some subconscious part of you was like, yeah, I don't feel like listening to that.
Yeah, I think so.
Your day sounds boring, so I'm going to go ahead and wake up.
Might be a reason that we're not together. And I was being like such an asshole too. Like I was just like, yeah, make something for dinner. Like,
Twice.
Yeah. And then like being like super thorough about the way you have to make it. Like
micromanaging.
Yeah.
What a dick.
I know. I was like, why am I being so mean? It was funny though. Speaking of that, you've seen the movie My Girl, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you know the scene that his glasses, he can't see without his glasses. You know that scene?
Mm-hmm.
I watch a lot of reaction shows on YouTube, and somebody was reacting to that movie.
Yeah.
And she started crying, and I started laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I started thinking about it. I was like, am I a bad person? Like, because I laugh when people cry? But like, I don't think I'm laughing because they're crying necessarily. So much as like, ha ha, now you know what we went through.
Oh.
You know, like that kind of thing.
That makes sense, I guess. I feel like you've said this before.
I probably did. But I mentioned it to a couple of friends of mine the other night, and they were like, wait, you're laughing because of dead kids? And I was like, well, no. I mean, dead kids just happen to be a thing in the movie, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I wasn't being like, haha, kids being dead is funny, you know?
Yeah, you're like, now you know.
Right. It's like anytime, well, I don't want to spoil that, so never mind. I'm not going to say what I was about to say.
You don't want to spoil a My Girl?
No. Another movie that we've both seen that has a really sad couple of scenes, actually. So anyway, while we were listening to your dream about the robots, you said you thought of another dream that you had this week.
Oh, yeah. I remembered a dream. Well, I only remember brief parts of a dream. It was like a longer dream. Oh, and it involved going to shower in a dirty bathroom. It was so gross. You should see my face when I'm saying this. I'm just thoroughly grossed out. Dude.
You and your bathrooms.
I don't know. It's a thing.
Water plays a very significant part in all of your dreams. It's something we've talked about in the past.
Okay, you want to know the detail that I'm remembering from this dream?
Sure.
It is so gross. It's going to gross you out too. Okay, so I remember taking a shower at some point in this dream and getting out, stepping out. I could see, like, down below on the floor that there were, like, wet towels everywhere. So the floor was already wet. And there were, like, puddles. And there was poo. Wet poo.
Wet poo.
Dog poo.
Oh. We had to deal with that earlier.
Yeah, we did. That dog poo was significantly bigger in real life. In my dream.
Yeah.
I was knocking on wood so it wouldn't happen again.
Yeah, except that the...
Well, I didn't think of that. My superstition took over.
So anyway.
So yeah, at some point in that dream, I took a shower and I had to get out onto a dirty, dirty bathroom floor. It was so gross. It's actually turning my stomach thinking about it right now. Anyways, another part of the dream, which was not gross, was going out to eat with Ernesto.
Oh, yeah, I had a fucking date.
No, because Brandon was there.
Oh. That ruins everything.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a date for sure. I think we just went to go see a movie. And I remember...
Wait, are you sure this wasn't just a thing? Because I went to go see The Exorcist.
Yeah, I know. I think it was just my brain remembering us going to see The Exorcist, because at some point in the movie, Brandon turned to me and he cracked a joke, which is something that happened when we were watching The Exorcist. I don't remember what the joke was, in the dream or in real life. But I remember it being kind of funny. And then we went out to eat. In my dream, I don't remember where we went. We went somewhere. But yeah, that's all I remember that one.
That reminds me. I don't know if we talked about this last week, but did you see the video about the woman who like refused to go to Cheesecake Factory on her first date?
Yes!
How do you feel about that?
That lady can fuck right off.
Okay, that's what I thought too. So I also found a list of like 28 places.
That can't be real.
You saw the list too?
Yeah, that's got to be satirical.
Yeah. No, some of those I agree with though.
Still?
Yeah. Red Lobster was on there. That's one of the reasons I was thinking about it.
Red Lobster's good.
Yeah, it is.
Was Olive Garden on there too?
Yep.
Well, fuck people.
Yeah, I know.
Surely it was satirical.
Like, well, I mean, one of the places was Waffle House. I was like, okay, well, yeah, you don't take a first date to Waffle House, you know.
Yeah, that'd be kind of silly.
But yeah, like.
But if that's all you can, manage.
Yeah.
Budget wise.
Anyway.
I shouldn't be so judgy. Ugh, people suck.
Yeah, but I also thought about our other friend, and I thought she would definitely not want to go to Cheesecake Factory on a first date, I bet.
That's funny. Wait, I'm not sure if we're thinking about the same friend.
The one that has the baby now? No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
No. The other one, she would... I don't know. Her dates would probably be like just about anything.
Okay, yeah. But yeah.
No, but I was thinking about the one that just had the baby earlier this year.
She wouldn't want to go to Cheesecake Factory.
Her bougie ass? Hell no.
That's funny.
It is funny.
I thought Cheesecake Factory was a bougie place.
I mean...
Kind of.
Sort of, but not really.
Expensive shit.
But one of the things that it mentioned, though, that I know she would be down for is coffee dates. Because she fucking loves her coffee.
Lots of people like going to coffee for first date.
I have like that white rhino thing on my thing just because of her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even drink coffee, but because I used to, like, fucking ferry her around everywhere, I had to get that. So she could get a discount. Anyway.
Okay, I had another dream that it is going to be short because I only remember very little of it.
Alright.
I remember Alice going to school. Okay, I remember being at school with Alice, and it was like a regular school day, but I think she was a senior. She was a little older, I guess, maybe. She was still my baby. But there was a teacher there who was a male, and
I don't like where this is going.
he was a predator.
Yeah, I don't like where this is going.
I hated it. It was like a nightmare. It was a nightmare because he asked her for her hand in marriage.
What?
And she was head over heels, googly eyes for him.
I mean, I guess luckily she was older, but still not old enough.
Yeah, she wasn't. She wasn't graduated from high school. He still worked there. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I was trying to like talk some sense into her for the most part of the dream. I'm like, well, nothing happened in the dream that was, crazy bad.
Yeah.
But the fact that he proposed and that she said yes and that they were going to get married as soon as possible. And on top of that, he was going to convince her to drop out of high school, not go to college, so that they can, run off and
Nope.
do the whole...
Nope. I don't like it.
I fucking hated all of that. I woke up scared to death.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
But that's all I remember. Well, one big detail that I do remember from that dream was grabbing Alice by the face like this and like shaking her. I'm like, Alice,
what
snap
is the matter
out of
with
it.
you?
What is happening? This is not you. You need to go to college. You need to graduate high school. You'll have so many more options. This guy is clearly a predator. What are you thinking? Yeah, it was awful. That's why I remember that dream.
Well, that's good. I don't think you need to remember any more of that dream.
Yeah.
Well, that's not cool.
No.
But I think we're gonna have to transition
Recommendation?
kind of hard to recommendations here.
Recommendation.
I think I'm gonna have 2 recommendations this week.
Okay. Did you go first last week?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't keep track.
I'm going first this week.
Both of mine are films, though.
I have decided. This is a film. I'm going to recommend a film called Babylon. It is a long film, and I did not know it was so long before I jumped into it with Ernesto. Oh, I think I briefly mentioned this before.
You were talking about it because you were talking about the elephant scene.
Yes. Well, that opening scene definitely hooked me. Ernesto was more interested in it then too, but I think he stuck around for the rest of it just because I wanted to watch it. But this film is a film for film goers. This film is a film for film lovers.
Okay.
Lovers of film, or the history of filming, starting with silent films. It almost comes off as like, especially towards the end, a documentary.
Yeah.
There's a genre for this. I think it's like docu-fiction or something like that.
That makes sense.
It makes up a whole story based on something historical.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it comes off. It's an interesting play in genre. Without revealing too much, it follows the story of an aspiring film maker or an aspiring film worker who starts, at the lowest of the lows positions, and it follows his career as he slowly moves up the chain in American filming, starting with silent films in the 20s or 30s.
Yeah.
It's got to be the late 20s, early 30s is when it started. By the end of the film, I think the 50s or 60s, films had begun experimenting with color and sound for sure had been around for quite some time. But yeah, it's so interesting to see like the history of filmmaking alongside a very beautiful like coming of age / love story for a young aspiring filmmaker.
Yeah.
And it is just wild too. When I first saw the trailers for it, it was giving Wolf on Wall Street.
Oh, okay.
But after watching it, it's definitely not that. It was a lot of wild mixed in with a lot of appreciation for the silent film. making process and just camera, just the art of camera recording in general.
Yeah.
So it had a good, healthy balance between the crazy, wild parts of filmmaking and the silent, more beautiful, subtle parts of filmmaking. And I just loved it. It was so well done, in my opinion. Good cast in it. Margot Robbie's in there. I'm not sure who plays the lead. I don't know his name as an actor, but I feel like he's been in things before. Brad Pitt's in there. Tobey Maguire's in there. So yeah. If you like films, filmmaking, history of film, definitely give this one a look-see. Check it out.
I think that was one I was gonna see like forever ago, and then I never got around to it.
You should check it out when you got it like 3 or 4 good hours on you. Because I forget how long it is, but it is very long.
So, all right.
Pretty sure it's like 3 hours.
I'll definitely look into that one. So, my first recommendation, because it is still Halloween while we're recording this,
Yeah.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Okay.
It's a horror comedy, and I guess you could classify it as like misunderstanding the movie, because like the whole thing is centered around these two guys who are going up to like fix up a cabin in the woods, and then this group of college kids that's going up to go camping in the woods. And the college kids see the two guys as like just these redneck hillbilly types that are probably going to murder them. And then they think that that's what's happening, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of hilarity ensues, lots of blood, lots of weird, random things. It's very good, though. Alan Tudyk, who plays Wash in the Firefly series, he also has his own series on Sci-Fi called Resident Alien.
That I need to watch.
I also need to watch it. I haven't watched it any. And then the other guy that's in it, I always forget his name, but he was in a show called Reaper that only lasted for a season. He's a really funny guy. Anyway, check it out. It's, like I said, horror comedy.
What's the name of it again?
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah. I remember watching that in the COVID years.
Oh, you did watch it?
Yeah, we ended up watching the rest of it.
Okay.
Do you remember us starting it?
I don't remember us starting it. Anyway,
yeah.
My second recommendation, because I'm selfish, is, so we heard earlier tonight that the guy that played Chandler, Matthew Perry, passed away. And it got me thinking about movies he was in. And I really like this movie, and everyone can kill me for it if you like, but 17 Again.
I like that movie.
And he's also in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie. I love that movie. I've watched that movie so many times. And I think Zac Efron does a fantastic job
of picking up on his mannerisms.
Of doing the same mannerisms that Matthew Perry has in that movie. It's so good.
It's pretty well done.
If you don't know, Matthew Perry plays a character that his marriage is falling apart. His life is not what it was supposed to be, because he was a basketball star when he was younger, when he was 17. But his wife, or his eventual wife, his girlfriend at the time, gets pregnant, and he decides to forego his future in basketball to start a family. And then he kind of regrets it, and he resents her and all this stuff. And then something magical happens, and he gets reverted back to his 17-year-old self. And then he spends the rest of the movie as Zac Efron, trying to correct some of the mistakes he's made recently. So, very good.
Pretty good film.
Pretty good. Very good film. I think it's a Disney film, too.
Yeah.
So it's probably on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And I love the... what is her name? The wife. She's so funny.
I want to say it's Leslie Mann.
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
Yeah. She was good in This Is 40 also. with Paul Rudd.
Yeah. She's a funny lady. So, check it out.
Yeah, check out that movie.
Looking for a chuckle, a heartwarming chuckle. 17 again. We did it.
We did it.
All right, hit him with the outro, Dustin.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I don't think we can use that part because that's.
Uh-oh, copyright. Thank you, Little Dreamers, for listening.
Little Dreamers is our $5 Patreon subscription tier.
Listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts until 2024.
Thanks for that, Google.
Sirius, Pandora, and YouTube, with YouTube Music and Apple Podcasts coming soon.
You can find us on our socials at TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, anywhere else that you think of social media.
Also, email us your dreams at whatmdreams@gmail.com so that we can hear from some of
what you have dreamt about. And, we might judge you harshly. I don't know. We'll see.
We will. But also it'll be fun, so it's cool. Thank you again for listening. Bye.
Bye. Forever.
No, never.
Yeah, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I was watching somebody react to that one the other day, and it made me start laughing because I was watching the scene where sawing out that log and he hits the bee's nest, and the bees are just stinging him all over the place, and he runs back and goes, "I sawed into a